Good morning. Sorry, I was trying to read what I was talking about today. Uh, how are y'all? It's going to be a hot one today. Let's see what it's going to be here in Alabama. I tried to wear my coolest overalls that I have. It's going to be 93 today. Tomorrow is going to be 95. So we're going to like fry like a egg. I'm doing well. I'm having a good morning. I didn't wake up on the struggle bus. Shocker. I don't think I woke up on the struggle bus because I'm half asleep. I'm half asleep. I'm taking another round of what are they called? Hang on. Muscle relaxers. I'm taking another round of muscle relaxers in Mobic. And then I have to take an allergy pill at night. So like it conks me out. I don't even know I have hot flashes. I just like, and so then when I have gotten where I don't get up good in the mornings, and Shane's like, "Are you getting up? Did y'all take your Celtic salt today?" Okay. I'm trying out a new cup. Let me tell y'all about it. Hey, ugh. First of all, I do not get paid a dime for this. I'm just trying it because my nephews came here the other day and they're rotten when they come to my house. Okay. They're rotten. It's almost like they're my grandchildren because my brother is older than me, but he has 6 children. And the youngest is 9 years old. And my brother's a year older than me. So my brother's fixing to be 55 with a 9-year-old. So they're like my grandkids. So I spoil them rotten when they come over here. And my nephew told me about this cup. It's called Circle. Here comes the oxygen. Wait. Circle. Cirkul. Okay. What this is, what this, wait, he watches a YouTuber and the YouTuber drinks it. Okay. You buy these cartridges, okay, and they're filled with flavor, and they're 0 calories. And you put them in, so you'll get a new cartridge when you get a new flavor. So then you put it on, you push this thing, and it pops open. Okay, so over on the side, you twist the top. You can put an X, where it means you just want to drink water. You can click number 1, where you want just a little bit of whatever this stuff is, Kool-Aid. Or the maximum you can do is 9, which means you get a lot of flavor. So my nephew told me that he likes it on 4. I've not tried this yet. Oh, that's a little strong for me. I can't do 4. I'm going to try 2. I need to go back to 3. That was not enough flavor. 3 is perfect for me. So they're not expensive. They're less than $20. But these cartridges, I can't remember what they cost. But if you have trouble drinking water, here you go. I don't know how many ounces. I think this is 20 ounces. I can see why he puts it on 4. When I first drank it on 4, it was ugh. It's pretty good. They come in all different colors. I'll let you know. It feels a little heavy though, but good morning. All right. I don't know what I'm doing today. So this morning, when I say I don't know what I'm doing, I can't decide if I really want to get ready or not, but I know it'll make me feel better if I get ready. So this morning, I have to go get feed, first of all. Larry's nurse is going to be here at 8:30, so I can't go get feed until after she leaves. Then I was washing clothes this weekend, and Shane came home, and he was like, he had to go to work this weekend, and he goes, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "What?" He goes, "My truck broke down." My truck, meaning a truck that he just bought from Larry. Larry had a dually, and we needed to sell it. So Shane goes, "I'll just buy Larry's dually for my work truck." So Shane bought it, and it broke down. It broke down. Well, when he got home, I had to tell him that our washing machine died. And I was thinking, he is fixing to get so frustrated because not only did your truck break down, but also the washing machine broke down. Then he had to go to work. That was on Friday. He had to go work on Sunday. So he had to drive a different truck, and he had to move all his welding stuff to this truck. The truck was jacking up on the way home. He was like, "Judy, listen to me and listen to me good. I'm fixing both of these trucks and I'm selling them and I'm buying a brand new truck." I'm like, what? I mean, when you're a welder, your truck is the main thing because your truck carries your everything, your welder, your tools and everything. So that's the most, he has to have dependability when he's a welder. And so he's so frustrated. Well, I went Friday to pick out a washing machine, and it's supposed to be delivered between 2 and 6 today. So somewhere between 10 and I say 1, I need to go get feed. Somewhere between that. And I have this feeling Larry's physical therapist is going to call and come today. And I'm thinking, please do not come. I have got to go get feed at some point today. So I feel like I'm not on the struggle bus, but I feel I'm not on the double Dutch bus, but I'm not on the struggle bus. It's like I'm somewhere trying to figure out which bus to get on. So that's why I'm getting ready this morning, because I feel like getting ready, even though I'm not really doing anything today, I think it'll help me put one foot on the double Dutch bus. That's how I feel. All right. Good morning. Did y'all have a good weekend? Just to let you know, I need to turn my curling iron on. You know my rooster that flogged me 3 times? I've decided to part with him. I've had him at least 3 years. He was one of my very first chickens from the Talbot Polish coop. And he has hated me since the day he saw me. He hates my guts. And it's gotten to the point where I have to take a stick into the coop with me when I go in there to change the water or feed. And it's just, I'm sick of it because I'm constantly getting flogged. So he is leaving this afternoon. And I do feel sad because even though he hates me, I'm like, it don't have to be. I've tried to have talks with him to say, look, it doesn't have to be this way. Like, I'm the one that feeds you. I'm the one that gives you fresh water. I'm the one that gave you all these girlfriends. Like, it doesn't have to be this way. You could stay on the farm, but he don't care. So he's leaving today. Let's see if my curling irons. I have to say I feel a little sad about him leaving, even though he's mean as a snake. But I cannot deal with him anymore. He's going to hurt me. I mean, I had blood running down my leg this past time he flogged me. And the time before that, he flogged me in the ankle, and my ankle swelled up the size of a baseball. I guess I should say a softball. And I barely walked for a week. It's awful. I mean, it takes like a week to overcome the flogging. So I just decided that it's not good. Now, keep in mind, he's behind the fence at 24/7. So he ain't flogging people out in the farm. But then I also have this rooster, and the rooster's name is KK. KK was born on my farm by his mother. One night, we were out to eat, and we didn't get home till right at dark. So the chicken coops were not closed yet. Well, when I got home, there was a murder scene. There were dead chickens all in my yard from a predator getting in the coop. I mean, I got home right at dark. Well, KK's mother and all his siblings died that day. Well, KK was this small, and I didn't know what to do with KK. And I thought, I'm just going to let him raise himself. And he did. Like he raised himself from this big. So he means a lot to me because he's a fighter, right? I mean, he raised himself. He watched his mom die. He watched his siblings die. And it's just special to me. Well, his butt has decided to start flogging, and he free ranges. And I'm like, really? And I've had him for at least 2 years. And I named him KK because, well, I'm not going to get into that. But I'm like, dude, you mean a lot to me. Don't start flogging. But he's flogged twice. But I'm probably going to have to let him go too, because I can't have floggers out in my farm, right? The last thing you want to do is come to a petting zoo and get flogged right off the bat. So anytime a rooster starts acting a fool, I have to get rid of him. So it frustrates me. But that's part of having chickens. Roosters sometimes turn on you. And the reason he flogged me is because me and a friend were in the farm, and I have a couple of chickens that are struggling with bumblefoot. So she came over to help me do surgery on these chickens that had bumblefoot. So we were going around the farm catching the chickens with bumblefoot, and KK decides, oh, you ain't touching my girls. And he flogged me, which I get. But he don't want anybody touching a hen. And if you don't touch the hens, he's okay. He's not flogging. But that don't mean he won't flog. It always starts like innocent, and then it turns into a train wreck. So we're on the struggle bus with the roosters. And it upsets me because you start getting close to your animals, right? And the last thing you want to do is have them start being mean. Friday, Hey Mickey is getting fixed. That is my alpaca. He is the last alpaca to be fixed. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to fix him. I don't. I want him to breed Georgia Lee. But it's not good for Georgia Lee. Because if he goes out there and breeds, I have 2 other boys out there, and they'll all start fighting trying to breed her. And if you fix them and no one's breeding, it's almost like no one tries to breed. So it's in the best interest of Georgia Lee for me to fix Hey Mickey. So Friday, he's getting a little nip. Y'all, in the mail this weekend, Kayla, I don't know if you're here, Kayla. Kayla does moderate. I can't talk. Moderates my pace, but also she has a daughter that has to go to school at the same time. But anyway, I got a bill in the mail today for, remember my rabbit that had cancer? Kayla took him to the vet, and they ended up putting him to sleep. Do you know how much my vet bill, Kayla, was for Willis Jr.? You were in there like, 5 seconds for them to tell you that Willis Jr. needed to be put to sleep? $147. Ridiculous. To put an animal to sleep? Okay, this is what I would like to talk about today. And I hope that you guys somehow can relate to me. You kind of have to suck hard on that thing. That didn't sound good. Anyway, so I always talk about being the best version of you. What does it look like? And it's the best version of me is not the best version of, let's just say, Mary. We're all different. We're all made up different. We all have different strengths. We all have different weaknesses. And when you break down what robs you of your happiness, you have to begin to write those things down that rob you of your happiness, right? That keep you, what keeps you worrying? What keeps you up at night? What keeps you like angry? You know, those things that rob you of your happiness. Well, when you write those things down, you look at your list and you're like, okay, the top thing is, let's just say money. Money, it will rob you of your happiness. And so you're like, okay, why? What is going on here? What do I need to fix? Do I overspend? Do I not make enough money? Do I not save good? What can I do to fix this worrying or this problem that's robbing me of my happiness? If financial reasons are doing that, what can I do to fix it? What do I need to do? And it takes a minute to break it down to figure out what you need to change in your life. Well, you know, sometimes as human beings, we think we know the answer. If I could just be rich, or if I could just be skinny, or if my husband wouldn't, if I could just be happy in my relationship, you know, things like that. We think we know the answer to happiness. You know, oftentimes you think a lot of times we're not depending on the right person for our happiness. So that person that we're depending on constantly lets us down. Like, for example, let's just say you're like, well, I would be happy, but my husband is a sourpuss or my wife is a sourpuss and I can't be happy. If you're depending on the sourpuss to make you happy, the sourpuss is not going to make you happy. The sourpuss is going to be a sourpuss, right? So you have to learn to pull your happiness from something else because he ain't going to change or she ain't going to change. You have to learn how to be happy in your house when you live with a sourpuss. And it's like, how do I do that? How do I find happiness when I'm surrounded by a sourpuss? Okay, well, maybe you need to get out more and not stay at home. I don't know. You have to figure it out yourself. I know for me, Shane is a teacher. If you're a teacher, I'm sorry if I make you mad. Shane is a teacher. Oh, shoot. I missed. Shane is a teacher. So I've said that 3 times now. And sometimes, no, 99.9% of the times, he looks at me as like I'm a student. So he's always wanting to teach me stuff I don't want to learn. And he'll go, come over here, Judy, you need to learn this. And it's something stupid like, I'm trying to think of what he wants me to learn. Like, get on the skid steer. I have zero desire to get on a skid steer and start cleaning up the property. Like when I wake up in the morning, that is not what's on my mind. Okay, well, let me get on the skid steer today and start cleaning up the property. No, that is not on my mind. But Shane finds joy in teaching me something because he's a dadgum teacher. I'm like, go teach someone else. I told Shane, I said, listen, I feel like you're the type of guy that needs a husband. Because when there comes to be a project or something, he thinks I'm like Mighty Mouse and can pick up, like he'll go get on that end and pick it up. I'm like, do you know that I'm in physical therapy for back issues and you want me to, Judy, pick it up? And if I go to try to pick it up and I can't pick it up, he starts going, pick it up. Pick it up, bend your knees, use your legs, do not use your back. And I'm like, it's like, dude, you need a husband. You do not need a wife. Or maybe he needs a wife and a husband. Or maybe he needs a son or something that lives here. But I ain't the one. I'm not the one that's going to jump up and get on the skid steer and start cleaning up the property. That's not who I am. But he enjoys teaching me how to operate the skid steer. And if Shane depended on me to get up and clean the property with a skid steer, he's gonna be so disappointed. Because it ain't happening. I don't want to do that. I don't. Now, I'll get on it and learn it, but I ain't doing that crap. I'm not like going on a job site and start doing the skid steer with him. That's not who I am. I'd rather curl my hair. I'm not that kind of girl. I do try to get out of my comfort zone and learn something new. Like, for example, if he needed me to drive the skid steer down to the creek, I want to be able to provide a team player and go do it. You know, I will do it, but I'm not I'm not jumping on the daggum thing by myself and going, I'll be back. I'm going to clear some property today. That ain't me. But if Shane depends on me to be this person, I'm going to continuously disappoint him. The same as if he depends on me for his happiness, I'm constantly going to disappoint him. So sometimes when we're trying to break things down to figure out what's stealing us from our joy, we think we know the answer. For example, back in 2019, when my son asked me to do Weight Watchers with him, I thought my whole entire life, if I could just be skinny, I'd be happy. If I could just be skinny, I would be so happy. And then after a couple of months, I was the skinniest I'd ever been in my entire life. I weighed like 128. Okay. I think I was born weighing 128. Okay. As an adult, I've never weighed 128. I was the skinniest I've ever been. And I told myself in my head, when I say, what robs me of my joy, I say, if I could just get skinny. Do y'all do that? If I could just be rich. Okay, I don't even have to be rich. If I could just not live paycheck to paycheck, I would be so happy. You know what I'm saying? You think you know what will bring you happiness, right? I'm trying to think of some more examples. If I could just have a husband like Sally Sue. Sally Sue's husband is so good to her. She's so lucky. If I just had a husband like Sally Sue, I would be so happy. You think you know the answer, right? Or I think I do. I thought I could just be skinny, all my problems would go away. I would wake up on the double Dutch bus every day. The only thing that really robs me of my joy is my weight. That's it. Hang on. What's wrong? What's wrong?
I dropped that.
Okay. You need help? Why are you so shaky?
No, that was right here.
Do you have your hearing aids in?
Huh?
You might want to go put them in. Your therapist is, your nurse is going to be here at 8:30.
8:30.
He dropped. So on the concentrator on his oxygen, there's a water thing. He dropped it. He couldn't get it back together. Anyway, you think you know what you need for your happiness. But when I give you this example, so I thought my entire life, okay, and please understand, right this second, I think the same thing. I say to myself, if I could just be skinny, I would be the happiest of my life. And you would think the first time around when I got to 120, let me tell that part. Hang on. Y'all bear with me just a minute. So I lost down to 128. And there were times that I thought I'm the happiest I'd ever been. It's so hard to do both. I thought when I was skinny, I thought, this is it. I mean, like, wow, I'm completely healed. As a matter of fact, when I started that page, Judy's Journey for Better Health, I thought, I'm going to help people lose weight. I've done it. I weigh 128. I've never felt so good in my life. I'm going to try to hold people's hand to tell them they can do it, encourage them to do it, because this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. That's what I thought. But that feeling didn't stay there. Do you know what? Okay, so I worried about if I could get skinny, I'll be the happiest person in the whole wide world. Then I'm skinny. Do you know what I worried about? Gaining it back. So what I'm getting at is I thought in my head, if I could just get skinny, I'll be happy. And it won't rob me of any joy. But when I was 128, I was still getting robbed of my joy because I was worrying about getting fat. And then what would happen is I would, let's just say, come inside and let's just say I made a lemon icebox pie. And I thought in my head, well, I can have a piece of this. I weigh 128. And then I would eat the piece of lemon pie. And then I'd be robbed of my joy for eating when I was in the moment, so good. Feeling happy because I'm skinny. So it didn't bother me to eat the pie. But then when I ate the pie, there was guilt of getting fat. So what I realized in that moment was I thought back then, if I could just be skinny, it would stop all this crazy things that are in my head. But it didn't. It did not stop it. So basically what I'm telling you is when you figure out what's robbing you of your joy, you think if I could just, like somebody that has financial, maybe yours is not weight. Mine is weight, jacks me up 24/7. But maybe yours is financial. If I could just get X amount of dollars in the bank, I would be happy. That's what you tell yourself. And then let's just say you meet that goal and you're like, oh, good. I have $20,000 in the bank. So now I feel all secure. And then the next thing you know, your truck breaks down, your washing machine breaks down, the other truck breaks down, and you're like, it took me this long to get all this money in the bank, and now it's going right out the door. And it robs you of your joy. So what happens is when you think you know the reason, what you're depending on for your joy is something that's basically material. You're depending on money. You're depending on, if I could just get skinny. And I've learned through this process that I'm going to the wrong thing. I'm going to the wrong thing for my joy. It's just like, like I said, if you're in a relationship and your husband's a sourpuss, you're like, if I could just have a husband like Susie, what's her name? Susie Q. I don't know. I forgot what I called her. If I could just have, her husband loves her so much and he's so good to her. He does everything for her. And mine is a sourpuss. And if I just had a husband like hers, I would be the happiest person in the whole wide world. And then suddenly you get Susie Q's husband. You're like, this dude is a train wreck behind the scenes. He looked like a rock star from this side of the road. But now that I'm married to him, he's a train wreck behind the scenes. Not that you would marry Susie Q's husband. You're not going to do that to your friend. Okay, but I'm just giving you an example of what I'm trying to talk about. And it's, to me, I sit here and I'm like, how can I be so jacked up? Because I've already lost down to 129 pounds and I still wasn't happy. And how can I gain it all back and think, if I could just be, like right now, I'm like, if I could just be skinny, everything would be good. And I know that that's not the truth. The problems are much deeper than that. The problems of financial security and going, if I just had X amount of dollars in the bank, I would be happy because it would give me security. No, your problem goes a lot deeper than that, because what will happen, like I said, is you'll get X amount of dollars in the bank and then you're still robbed of your joy. It goes deeper than that. Just like my weight, it goes deeper than that. Just like your sourpuss husband, it goes way deeper than that. It goes deeper. And I sat here and I thought, okay, this time around, being on Weight Watchers, how do I fix my jacked up mind? How do I not become obsessed with a number or with the way I look or with the size of clothes I'm wearing? How do I fix it? Like, and I have had so much therapy that we've tried to break down where this obsession came from. And I've told you guys this before, but when you break down your obsession that robs you of your joy, you're trying to figure out what this is. Because really, this obsession really is not about me getting skinny. It's deeper than that. It is a serious problem that landed me in intensive care on dialysis. It is a serious issue. And it seems sometimes when, like, let's just say that Diane doesn't struggle with eating disorder, but Judy does. Easy, let's just say for Diane to go, "You're not fat. Judy, you're not fat." Oh, dadgum, I had no idea. Thanks for telling me. I feel 100% better. No, it goes deeper than that. But as a friend, you want to comfort the person, and you think comforting a person that has an eating disorder is telling them they're not fat. It's a lot deeper than that. It's like these things that are embedded in my head, and like I have to figure it all out. And even once once I figure out where this problem came from, it never goes away. Do you hear me? The obsession that you have about financial problems or perfect relationship, it never goes away. I will probably my entire life deal with the jacked up things in my head about my body. It doesn't go away. And I think that what you have to do as an individual is you have to learn how to put the tools in your pocket to deal with it. Because in my brain, I know that I have weighed 128 and it didn't go away. And I will tell you, I can remember I lost friendships over my eating disorder. Is that my fault? I'll just tell you about what happened. So I called this person my best friend. And when I started losing weight, I was so proud of myself because it's the first time I had lost weight eating right. In the past, to lose weight, I starved myself. But this particular time in 2019, I actually ate 3 meals a day, including snacks, and lost weight the right way. And then what ended up happening is I felt good about myself, right? So I began to start doing selfies. Look at my before and after picture. Look, 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 And I began to make my friend mad because I was posting my before and after pictures. Why did I do that? I felt good that I had lost weight for the first time eating. I was so proud of myself. So I guess showing people, because a lot of people that are my age and older think this is just who I am. I can't do it. So I was trying to show, yes, you can. Age is just a number. You can do anything you set your mind to. So that's kind of what I was doing. Plus, I was feeling good about myself. Well, it started making my friend frustrated. And I remember posting this picture. I'll post it on my other page. I posted this picture. And when I posted it, when I tell you a flood of messages were coming in, because people that love me saw how skinny I was, and they began to be concerned about my well-being. They were like, Judy has turned anorexic, because you could see my bones. Like I had on a tank top, but I had my hair back and I was like this, taking a selfie, and a flood of messages. They went to Shane, people message Shane about my well-being, they begin to tell me that I look terrible. And I'm going to tell you, when you work your butt off to lose weight the right way and you're so proud of yourself, and then you get a flood of messages telling you that you look anorexic, pissed. You're pissed. And I'm like, is no one proud of me? I just lost weight the right way for the first time in my entire life, and you're telling me I look anorexic? You know what I did? I cut these friends off. I'm like, you're not my friend. You're just jealous. You're just jealous because I lost weight and you didn't. But when I now go back and look at that picture, I'm like, good Lord, I am skinny. But I couldn't see it the moment because my weight fluctuates so much. But what I'm getting at is when you start fixing that thing that robs you of your happiness, and I try to think of examples because a lot of you probably can't relate to me because you don't maybe obsess about, you're like, I don't care what I look, I don't care. Like, this is the way I look my whole life. And what does rob you of your joy? I would like to know that. Oh, I'm supposed to pat. The things that like I said, the things that I think of that come off the top of my head is relationships, financial, the way you look, your age. You may be obsessed about wrinkles. I don't know. I just know that for me, once I got to where I thought I could be and be like, that's what was going to make me happy, I realized it didn't make me happy. So what does it take to make that obsession go away? I got to think about it a minute. The first thing that comes to my head is it's not a race. We want it now. We want X amount of dollars in our savings account now. We want to lose weight now. And what we want to do is it's like, tell us what to do to reach our goal. We're going to do it. And then what? You know? So if you work hard, let's just say you want to put $20,000 in your savings account. And you're like, okay, if I put X amount of dollars back every paycheck, then I'll meet my goal in 1 year. And you do it. You meet your goal. You're disciplined. You're like, I've got the discipline. I'm going to do it. And at the end of December, I'll have X amount of $20,000 in my savings account. And then it comes December and you're so proud of yourself because you have $20,000 in your savings account and you feel secure for the first time. You're like, man, this is the best feeling in the whole world. I've never had this much money in the bank. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. But then what happens is it's like you'll lay your head down at night and you're like, that's all I got. It's $20,000. That's it. I'm 53 years old and all I have is $20,000 to my name. And used to, you're like, $20,000 was a big number. And now that you've done it, you're like, well, let me see if I can get 5 more thousand. It's like you're never content, because if you obsess about financial reasons, it never goes away. So I think it's something, you know how they say people with addiction, they have to constantly they don't get sober and then they're like, whoa, that was easy. I'm sober. I never crave anything again. No, they have to continue to go to meetings. And the second they quit going to meetings, they find themselves slipping. It's the same thing with me. I have to go to counseling every single week. And when I don't go to counseling, I find myself slipping. But the problem, the obsessive thing in my head, it comes and goes. It gets better. And I think, oh, I'm cured. And then it creeps up out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. It's something that you have to learn to work at every single day. When you obsess about something and it robs you of your joy, it robs you of your sleep, all those good things, it's something that you have to work at every single day for the rest of your life. And when you think, you're like, wait a minute, I'm so jacked up that I have to go to counseling every week for the rest of your life. That seems overwhelming. It does. If you look at the big picture, you feel overwhelmed. But see, what you're looking at it wrong. Instead of going, you mean to tell me I have to go to counseling every week for the rest of my life? Say, I'm so thankful that I have a great counselor that knows me left and right and knows when I'm getting sideways, and I can hold my hand and get me through it. I got someone that's going to be right there with the whole entire time. Instead of saying, I got to pay this daggum copay. Got to pay this copay. I'm psycho. You know, you got to kind of learn to laugh at it too. But if you don't continue to work at what your problem is, it's never going to relieve you of joy, like of your worry. But if you work at, let's see, I'm trying to think how to put this. Let me think. Sometimes when it comes to me and my own issues, I think recognizing what you're doing is the first step in recovery for your things that are robbing you of joy. Recognizing that you're worrying, or you're chewing your fingernails, or you got an upset stomach, or you didn't sleep last night, or you have a bad relationship with someone. Like realizing what is wrong. What is wrong? Why can't you do the things you need to do? What is keeping you from being disciplined? And it's hard to break things down sometimes. And that's why I'm so thankful for my counselor, because I can go, I cannot freaking figure this out to save my life. You know, and I've worked with her with my weight, talking about it. And a lot of it, I've said this before, but I was a cheerleader when I was younger, and then I was on the dance line, and then I was aerobic instructor. And nobody wants a fat cheerleader, right? If you're a fat cheerleader, people are going to go, she don't need to be in that outfit. You know what I'm talking about? And then when you're in front of a crowd on the kick line and you're in your cute little sequin uniform, nobody wants a fat girl on the kick line. Like, and the same with the aerobic instructor. Are you going to go to a aerobic instructor who is in front of the whole entire class and supposed to be setting examples for you on good health, and you're overweight? They're like, I ain't going to her class. I sure don't want to look like her. I think the career path that I took, it's not really a career, but the path that I took, being in athletics, and stop for just a minute. If you're watching the Olympics and you see a swimmer, it's on the chunky side, what's the first thing that goes through your mind? Wow, I've never seen a chunky swimmer on the Olympics. God, how does she do that? You do that. And I think that is where a lot of my dysfunction came from with my eating disorder. And plus, God loved my mother. She stayed on me all the time about my weight because my mother struggled her whole life with her weight. And she used to tell me that boys don't like fat girls. She used to tell me that. And she was doing it because she didn't want me to suffer like her. She wasn't doing it to be mean. She was wanting to teach me to watch my weight because she was always big and boys didn't like her. She didn't have a date because she was overweight. And she didn't want me to live the same life she lived. She wanted me to have a better life. So she was trying to hold my hand and say, Judy, watch your weight. Boys don't like fat girls. And so I think all of that, the life that I lived in sports my whole life, being on stage, being dancing, doing solos, teaching aerobics in front of a big stage, those set the platform of what I was supposed to look like. Hang on. I'm trying to work this time on longevity of a lifestyle change. Not let me lose weight and get to X. I don't know. I guess the number that sticks in my head is 140. If I could just get to 140. I'm doing it now. If I could just get to 140, I will be happy. I'll get to 140 and I will not be happy. Because the problem is deeper than a number. And you have to realize that. If you're worried about finances, it's deeper than a number. You're gonna get there. Maybe you're like, I'm very disciplined. So I can do it. If I set my mind to do it, by God, I can do it. But it's deeper than that. So if you take the concentration off the number and go, what the flip is wrong with me? What the crap? Why am I so obsessed with this? I think at that point is when you start healing. But see, sometimes you're looking for the magic pill to stop the obsession of whatever you're obsessing about. You're looking for that perfect spouse, that perfect amount in savings, the perfect weight amount. You're looking for that. And when you get there, and then you find you're still obsessing because you're like, okay, I've got the $20,000 in the bank. Okay, I just got to keep there. Oh crap, the washing machine just broke. Okay, well, I can't take it out of my little fund that I just saved. So what I do, you're obsessing. You'll start obsessing. And then the second you take it out, then something else breaks and you're like, it took me forever to get all this money because I thought that $20,000 in my savings account was going to bring me happiness. And it's not. It's making me worry about having to get rid of it. You see what I'm saying? It's deeper than that. And you've got to understand it's not a race. It's learning how to live life to the fullest. It's learning how to be the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself is not being perfect. It's not being skinny or being rich or having the perfect spouse. Those things. It's not that. It's deeper than that. So you have to realize that you're not in a race for a number. You're in longevity. You've got to wake up happy every day. So what does it take? Like sometimes, you know, sometimes you live through a YouTuber or a creator and you're like, she's got the perfect life, daggum. She's got all those animals. She's got like her husband builds everything. She's just got it made. If I could just be like Aunt Judy. If you think that, would you come to my house and we'll sit down and talk? Come live with me for a week. Come live with me for 1 week and work 14 hours a day in blazing heat. And you'll go, our life ain't what I thought it was. I mean, when she's out there kissing the animals, it looks so daggum cute, but I didn't realize she was out in the hot sun for 14 hours a day. It was sweating her butt off. It's sometimes we always think the grass is greener on the other side. And we find ourselves wishing we were like Mary or Tina. We're like, God, Tina has the grass. Like for me, someone who has an eating disorder that obsesses about being skinny. When I see someone skinny, I'm like, oh, if I just had a body like her, if I just had a body like her, like everything would be so good. We lie to ourselves all the time. And when we lie to ourselves, it robs us of our joy. So today, I need you to practice not being perfect, not being obsessed with the number. Just do the next right thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, in other words, for me, the next right thing for me is to know that I'm doing the very best that I can do. Like with Larry, for example. Like today feels total chaos because I feel like I can't go get my feed. I feel like I can't breathe. I'm like, how am I supposed to do it when he got a nurse here and he's got a physical therapist coming and I got to get the washing machine. I got to be here to sign for it. And my animals don't have feed tonight and I can't breathe. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Calm. Calm down. Calm down. Do the next right thing. The next right thing is to fly out to the chicken yard, let all the animals out in 0.2 seconds so I can be back here by 8:30 to be here with the nurse. Kayla's coming today. So when Kayla gets here, she can go out there and do the animals and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm very thankful for Kayla's coming today because that's one less thing I have to worry about. I could have Kayla come inside with the nurse and say, Kayla, would you bypass the animals and come inside with Larry and let me go get feed real quick? Kayla would do that. So like it's next right thing, even if you struggle with eating. Someone said this to me and it made such good sense to me. She was like, Judy, instead of trying to eat perfect every single meal, choose one meal and make good choices. Okay, so usually you're the strongest for breakfast, or that is for me, because you wake up and you're like, okay, I got to do good today. And by supper time, you're a train wreck. So like, forget the meal. Choose one good decision. Okay, I'm drinking Coke all day, but one time out of the day, I'm going to drink a glass of water. because Aunt Judy said vodka is 10 times better than a protein shake. So I'm going to drink one glass. I'm just kidding. If y'all don't know, if you're just joining me, I call water vodka and I call Coke Zero a protein shake. Okay. I'm not talking about actual vodka. Okay. I do not drink, but giggle at yourself and go, shoot, I'm going to get me a glass of vodka today because today sucks. I'm going to get me a glass of vodka and I'm going to chunk it down. Amen. Did y'all see, speaking of amen, I've never laughed so hard in my life at Jake, shirtless Jake, is that right? And his little kid doing this. Did y'all see that video? I was like, that is the funniest thing. And his kid praising Jesus with his, did y'all know what I'm talking about? If y'all don't, it's a really funny video. It's a really funny video. But just make one good choice today. Maybe it's going out for a walk and noticing nature and allowing your brain to rest from worry. Maybe you just do that. Go take the dog for a walk. Go smell the flowers outside. Go drink your vodka. Do something good for yourself today. And one good decision, you need to take the whole day and praise yourself for it. Praise yourself for making a good decision. Do the next right thing. The next right thing. So, like when you leave here in 2 minutes, when we leave this live, do the next right thing. You don't even have to get off the daggone couch. Call a friend. Write a letter. Do something good. Encourage someone. Encourage them. I'm going to tell you that oftentimes I find myself depending on other people for my happiness. And I catch myself doing it, especially with Shane. Like, I don't know, there's a holiday coming up and I'm like, oh, it's my birthday. Da-da-da. He ain't doing crap for me, just to let you know right now. Okay. He is not the guy. Shane is not romantic at all. None. Zero. If I depended on Shane to supply my needs when it comes to romance, I'm in trouble. I'm going to be let down all the time. So how do I get, I'm going to say, spiritually fed when I need Shane to meet my needs? What do I do? I'm like, he's jacked up. He's not romantic. He's not bringing chocolate and flowers. I'm not getting a present for Valentine's Day. I'm not even getting a present for Christmas or my birthday. I've learned to laugh about it. Actually, I'm like, this dude is so jacked up. This dude is so jacked up. But what I have to do is, where Shane doesn't give me a birthday present, Valentine's Day, Christmas present, he gives me things all throughout the year. He built my barn. He built the goat barn. He built the barn out there. I have to look at the big picture. Shane is not a specific day kind of guy. I don't know. He went wrong somewhere. And even with his own parents and stuff, like, he ain't giving nobody a birthday present. I'm here to tell you right now. Nobody's getting, you might get a card if you're lucky, but he's not doing that. But he will do for you all year long. It's like he forgets his mom's birthday, but he bought her an air conditioner and went and installed it. So like, you have to look sometimes at what your spouse is like, instead of letting your birthday go by with no present and getting your feelings hurt, what do? I've told y'all this 100 times. Go do for yourself. Like, okay, this birthday's coming up. What do I want to do? I'm going to go get my hair done. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to get the Dodge out of my house. I'm going to, you got to not rely on other people, especially your spouse, because you're going to be robbed of your joy. Don't do that. Set yourself up for success. Don't set yourself up with failure by having expectations of what someone should or should not do. Look at what they do. They just do it on the wrong daggum day. He's backlegs what he is. I love y'all. Leaving you with two things. So when I tell you that you have choices, you can sit it out or dance, okay? When it comes to this conversation, okay, sitting it out means being overwhelmed by your obsession, your worry never going away, because it doesn't. It does not go away. When you have a serious issue, it does not go away. What you have to do to dance is learn to put tools in your pocket to pull out so that you're able to deal with it. Because that is what I call dancing, is learning how to go, okay, today freaking sucks. I'm having a fat day. I hate the way I look. So what tool do I need to pull out of my pocket to go, hey, girl, you're sitting it out. Dancing is going, you know what? I'm going to make the next right decision. I might be a train wreck the rest of the day drinking my Coke Zeros, but today I'm drinking 1 8-ounce glass of water, okay? I'm gonna go order me a new cup. I tell y'all this, a cute cup will change. It's a deal changer. You'll make good decisions with a cute cup. I don't know why, but you will. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see y'all Wednesday. I want to tell you something real quick, though. So Facebook has this new thing, and it's called, I forgot. Hang on. It's called a broadcast channel. It's on Messenger. So they wanted me to sign up for it, and I did. And I was like, what the crap is this? And then I noticed I had 145 members. So apparently we can chit chat in here. Like, you know how y'all chit chat on YouTube in the mornings? You can chit chat on here. I like that. So I said, what topic would you love to hear in the mornings? So if you're on the broadcast channel, now it is on Facebook. YouTube does not have this. But you're welcome to give me ideas, because sometimes I don't know what your struggle is. And I would like to hear, and you don't have to tell me all your gory details. You can just say, hey, Judy, talk about this. And I'll think about it and pray upon it and tell you what I think. Hello. Y'all have a great day. See you later. Bye.